And joining us now is Colorado's Democratic Secretary of State, Jena Griswold. She's running to be the state's Attorney General in 2026 and has called this a, quote, direct attack on democracy. So, Secretary Griswold, your state's actually a great fact check on the president when he says mail ballots only elect Democrats. That's one of the complaints he's leveled. But Colorado has elected Republicans like Senator Cory Gardner as recently as 2014. So talk about what you're seeing in the president's renewed push here and the safeguards in place that states still run their elections.
Well, good morning. Thank you for having me on. And I would say President Trump is also a good fact check on President Trump. Besides the fact that he encouraged Republicans to use vote by mail in 24, he himself and his family members used mail ballots in 2020. So this is very clear. An American president is taking advice on democracy from a sitting dictator who can only hold on to power through undemocratic, rigged elections. That should be scary to every American who is aware of the situation. At the end of the day, Allie, this is an attempted power grab by Donald Trump. He is attacking democracy, and we will not let him win. Look, he has absolutely no power to issue an executive order on elections. The Constitution is extremely clear. States oversee elections, not Trump. I will fight him on this. We have beat him over and over in attempts to roll back mail ballots in 2020, and I plan to do that again. We will not allow him to disenfranchise millions of American voters for his petty games and trying to hold his weak MAGA control over the country.
I want to dig a little deeper on what you're talking about there when you say you're going to fight him on this. You'll plan to challenge the Trump administration, I imagine, in court if they follow through with this. So talk about the legal basis for the case. I imagine it's a little bit more of that constitutional law that you're talking about.
Yes. Again, the president does not have the ability to regulate American elections. He already issued one executive order on elections. They are losing every legal argument because they are just making things up. We are still a country of rule of law. And again, mail ballots are secure. They cannot be hacked by foreign adversaries like Russia. Russia is a foreign adversary because they're a piece of paper. Trump has made our elections less secure since taking the presidency again. He has disbanded the DOJ and Department of Homeland Security's work on foreign interference. We are proud to have mail ballots. They're the most secure way to vote. And by the way, our voters like them. In the 2024 general election, 92% of Republican voters chose to use a mail ballot. That's with the Colorado election model that allows people to vote early, in person. We have same-day voter registration, but people choose the mail ballot because we know they are secure and accessible and hands down the best way to vote in this country.
I think nothing happens in a vacuum, and so we should put this latest push in context, because this push to restrict mail-in voting is really just the latest of Republican measures to restrict voting. In the past few years, we've seen the party limit drop-off boxes after 2020, shorten early voting periods, purge voter rolls, and more. Ultimately, who does that benefit?
What they are trying to do is grab power. They must realize that the MAGA movement is toast in the 26 elections unless they try to suppress the vote even further. And we have seen a massive escalation on attacks on democracy from Trump, from weaponizing the DOJ to the corrupt attempts to have MAGA control over Congress through redistricting in Texas. Look, Trump is attacking our democracy, but his lies also incite violence. We had an alleged election denier firebomb a county clerk's office just in June over election conspiracies. We've seen a 39% turnover of county clerks in Colorado since 2020 because of the threat atmosphere. Yeah. Trump is trying to attack our democracy. We need everybody to lean in and fight. I'll do everything in my power to stop him. We will win any attempt to roll back mail ballots. But your viewers, Americans of good conscience, need to lean in and make it extremely clear that we will not allow this power grab to succeed.
Colorado Secretary of State Jena Griswold, thank you for coming on with us.